Sup everyone, guys, girls, in between. You never really know these days. Either way, today I am here to discuss the topic of this video, which is quitting weed, quitting cannabis, quitting marijuana, whatever word or term floats your boat, and the fact that I have indeed made it to day 25 of that. This video series, I initially wanted to stretch over a 30-day period. I didn't know whether I was going to be successful or not, but I knew I was going to give it my best shot. Now that I'm at day 25, now that my day is just looking so much more positive and in such a good routine at the moment, be that eating, sleeping, working, going to the gym now as well, which is something that I'd always smoked beforehand, before I did for many years. So due to the fact that my life is in order, I would say, for the most part, the thoughts of smoking and that worry or that doubt that I had about whether I was going to make it to 30 days sober from weed is pretty much gone. I go through my life at the moment, I go through my days not really thinking about smoking weed. And when and if those fleeting moments do come, I immediately insert myself back into the mindset and the situations where I was smoking, especially near the end there, where every single time I smoked, doesn't matter where I was, doesn't matter what I was doing, I would have an intense level of anxiety. Some smokes, some sessions, whatever you want to call it, would last, the anxiety would last, a real heightened sense of anxiety would last an hour. Some it would last 2 hours. Some it would last me all the way until I eventually fell asleep, which was just absolutely horrible. It was terrible. It felt like shit. And I said to myself every time, why are you continuing to do this? And it's because I was completely and utterly addicted. I thought I had to go to sleep. I thought I had to, for my motivation in life, to do certain tasks. I thought I had to because I'd just done it for so fucking long. But for the last 25 days, I have not. And, I'm just feeling so much better for it. So I had some thoughts. I'm home from work at the moment, home on lunch. I get an hour for lunch, which is pretty good. Can't say no to that. And I try and make it worthwhile. I try and either get some chores done or make a video, or I haven't done it yet, but I do plan on going to the gym in my lunch break, although there are no showers at the gym that I go to at the moment. Yes, it's got the best equipment available in Alice Springs, but there's no showers, and that's kind of annoying. So today, I'm going to go to the gym after work, and I'm not going to smoke beforehand. So either way, home on lunch, thought it was about time I updated you guys on my journey through sobriety from weed after so many years of just feeling hopelessly addicted. And life you can separate into four quarters. That's four essential things in your life that everyone does and that I can sort of touch on as far as how quitting weed has affected those areas of my life. The first is sleep. The second is eating habits. The third is social conversation, your willingness or unwillingness to do it, how you feel, are you confident, are you not? And the fourth is employment, just in general, about how you feel going to work, how you feel walking in the door, and how you feel about your own performance and sharpness, of course, that comes into play. So first of all, let's talk about sleep. Look, all of these things I've discussed in the past, I can't really remember exactly what I've said in previous videos, but I thought today was time for a bit of a recap. So sleep is good. I'm not going to say it's great. I've been waking up and not being able to go back to sleep, however hard I try, at about 6, if not a little bit earlier. And when I begin work at 8, I don't really want to be getting up any time before 6, because that means that once it gets to 10 o'clock at night, if I'm not asleep by that point and I'm getting up before 6 o'clock, I'm actually not fully rested for the day. And I want to get to the point where my sleeping schedule is so on point that every single day I wake up feeling rested. But having 2 kids, I don't know if that's realistic. But I am getting at least 6 hours of sleep a night. Some nights I do toss and turn a little bit, but I am straight back to sleep. But it seems as if my body is telling me to get up at 6 o'clock each and every morning at the moment, if not a little bit earlier. So, previously, if I was smoking, I may have woken up at 6 o'clock, but I'm not getting up at 6. There's absolutely no way. I'd turn over, I'd pull the covers over my head, because I'd most likely have been drinking the night before as well, and I'd go back to sleep for as long as possible. I'd be getting up, I'd be rushing in the morning. There is no rushing at the moment. There's no procrastination. I get up, I've got energy because I haven't smoked the day before, and I crack into making the kids' lunches, and I make myself a coffee. I don't particularly need it, but I want it, and I crack on with the day. So sleep is improving. I'm having dreams. My last dream that I can vividly remember was I was in London, actually, and I was making my way to Wembley Stadium, and I don't even know if that's in London or not, but I was going to watch Manchester United, and thinking back, it all made sense at the time, but now that I think about it, Manchester United play at Old Trafford, and I don't know if that's in London or not. I really don't. But hey, I made it there. I can't remember. I remember standing outside of the stadium. I think I might have woken up at that point. But either way, dreams are coming thick and fast. I tend to find that I dream, like let's say I fall asleep at like 10:30. I might wake up at like 2, not having had a dream, or at least I can't remember it. And then I go back to sleep, and then during that second period of sleep, or even a third period of sleep, if I've woken up a couple times, that's when the REM sort of kicks in. And prior to waking up at like 6, like I said, that's sort of when the dreams tend to come. And that's exactly what happened last night when I went to Old Trafford, or Wembley. So that's good. Eating, I'm not going to say that I felt like I needed to smoke to eat. I do, I've always loved food. But in saying that, I didn't enjoy tasteless food like vegetables. I enjoyed it, but I just I didn't put the effort in to cook it. I didn't buy fruit. I went to the store and I bought shit, because I knew that I was going to be smoking that night, and I knew that stuff was exactly what I was going to be craving when I smoked. Now, like I said, I don't believe that I needed to smoke to eat. I still enjoyed food without smoking, but whether I was smoking or not, the food that I was choosing was absolute fucking shit. Now, I still enjoy food, but because I've got so much more spare time, or at least I feel like it, and I don't have those outrageous cravings for sugary, fatty, salty foods, I put time and effort into preparing healthier foods, and I get a little buzz off of, I get my dopamine off of making healthy choices. So eating has improved, but I always knew that was going to happen because, the munchies are real. Even after 16 years of smoking, I still had the munchies. Okay? Some people say they fade. They never did for me. So overall, my eating habits have improved lots. The third thing that I mentioned was socializing. You know, as humans, we want to socialize. Well, I tell you what, nearing the end of my smoking, I could socialize, but I didn't want to. And I didn't believe that I was worthy of having a decent conversation with someone. I didn't really want to have a conversation with someone because I was so fuzzy and just I couldn't even think straight. I described it to my parents not long ago. I could not think straight. I couldn't think straight to save myself, and I was trying to get through life just completely subpar mentally. I wasn't sharp whatsoever. The only time I could actually get some, brain function going is when I slammed myself with a shitload of coffee in the morning to try and counteract those feelings of a stone over. And at the moment, I don't know exactly what changed. It seemed to change at around about the 2-week mark, where I started actually wanting to talk to people. For example, about a week ago, I had a call at work from someone from another office, and they asked me a question. They said, how's Alice Springs looking today? And normally, if I had a smoke the night before, if I was in my daily routine, feeling like shit about myself, letting myself down all the time, feeling fuzzy, I would have said, yeah, really good, and cut that conversation off. Well, I ended up having a 20-minute back and forth conversation with this person, talking about myself confidently, enjoying what she had to say back to me. And I realized during that 20 minutes that, man, things have changed. Things have changed. This is what life's meant to be like. And that's just one example. Look, to be honest, I don't really go out of the house or my workplace very often. I've started going back to the gym. Conversations in the gym are coming more freely now. I'm more open to conversation. I'm more interested in what someone's saying to me. When I was stoned and I went to the gym, yeah, I'd have a conversation with someone, and yeah, I'd put on a brave face and I'd smile and laugh, but number one, I wouldn't retain what they said, and number two, I wasn't really fucking interested. Because I couldn't be. You've got no capacity. It takes away your capacity, smoking weed every single day, to socialize, to maintain relationships. And so at the moment, I'm not going to say my social life is flourishing, but my want and my ability to socialize with anyone, it doesn't matter who you are, has drastically improved. And that's probably the biggest change, because I was getting so worried. My personality was so dull, it was just flat for so fucking long. And I was getting worried. I literally thought I'd given myself brain damage and I couldn't come back from it. And I probably have given myself brain damage. I'd love to get a brain scan, I really would, but things are going better and I'm feeling more positive, and you can probably tell. So fourth is employment, and I basically just touched on it there. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy going to work. I'm quite content with my job. The first week was pretty intense. I was kind of going back and forth, but that was still whilst I was, I think, detoxing from weed, to be honest. Now I'm in my 3rd week, almost finished my 3rd full week, and I feel like a different person. And I don't think that's just because I'm feeling more confident in the job. I do feel like that's because weed has completely detoxed from my system, and I feel free. I walk in that door, I feel free, I feel capable, I feel confident. I'm learning, my capacity to actually learn, retain things, pull that information back out when I need it has drastically improved. I was fucking struggling through, trying to learn things when I was smoking every day. And we all know why. I never wanted to admit that it made me dumb, but I tell you what, it fucking did. In the end, it did make me really dumb. And I didn't like that. I didn't like what it was doing, and something had to change, and I fucking changed it. So day 25, the 4 pillars of life. Well, those 4 pillars anyway. The fifth and the final thing I will mention is going to the gym. I've brought that back in. I've been going for 3 days. Today will be my 4th day, and I'm going to go after work. And so far so good. I've really enjoyed it. Now, going to the gym, I've mentioned before, was basically half the reason why I'd continue to smoke, honestly, because I wanted to go to the gym. I felt like I needed to go to the gym, but I also felt like I couldn't go without smoking beforehand. And that's just, it's almost like someone thinking they have to have a pre-workout before going. Smoking, that routine of smoking, getting that anxious sort of excited energy about me, and that focus that I just wanted to get to the machine and begin my workout, was just part of the routine for me. And I thought, you know, that was it, and I couldn't get out of it. And I felt like at one point, not only could I not enjoy anything in life without smoking, but in saying that, I felt genuinely that I could not enjoy a workout, or I could not push through the pain, basically, guys, didn't matter what I was doing. When you're smoking every day and you take it out, your motivation is down, your dopamine's down. It's going to be a real struggle to do anything and feel happy about it. And I've got visitors, so I'm going to shut it off there. Day 25. I'll try and make more of these videos nearing the end. 1 a day. Sounds good to me.